pray. I was going to joke that it seems today Jim is the only one with wings because all the incoming flights were canceled, but some of you made it, so thank you. Thank you. Of course, it was due to this raging storm that we have going on. I know what some of you are likely thinking. Oh, the widow is going to do the eulogy. This is going to go well. And yeah, I'm doing this, and we're doing this on his birthday for one reason, and it's because Jim would laugh his behind off. That plus I knew him better than anybody. We met because we were both performers, and of all the millions of the things we shared, that was the one thing we most understood about each other, that when it comes time to perform, you're on. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you before, the show must go on. So let's talk about the riddle inside the enigma, wrapped in a bean burrito and covered in silly sauce that was James Russell Monis. He's my husband, my best friend, my co-host, and my sweet babu. Jim didn't talk much about his childhood. He was never a dweller. When bad things happened, he'd note it and he'd move on. He would blip over the bad memories, but have everyone roaring with laughter over the good ones. And that was but one of many of his talents, as you saw. He was a great photographer. It served us well because, boy, did we have some times we'd rather forget. Just shy of 15 years ago, I was in the middle of so much at once that I thought God broke his promise and really did give me more than I could handle. I had been through a terrible divorce that left me homeless and in a wheelchair for 8 months. My dearest friend Lexi was dying of a rare aggressive cancer, and my mom had just come out of brain surgery for a tumor that would take her life within a few months. Driving my mom home from the hospital, Lexi called me and told me that Grandma died. After putting my mom to bed, I went to console my friend. It was too much at once. I had no idea how I was going to build the strength to be and do all the things I needed to be and do. And that very night, January 22nd, God gave me Jim. Oh, I was a mess. And I wasn't even a hot mess. Jim saw something in me that no one else ever has or ever will. And it was instant. And it was easy. For the first time, love was easy. I didn't even know that was a thing. Jim was kind and funny and totally smitten. Oh, he was so smooth. If any of his Marine buddies are watching, you have no idea how smooth that man was. That one time. He made me laugh at the most inappropriate times, and it was wonderful. I was a struggling Christian, but I just knew that Jim was my gift from God, and I told him so. Jim had been an atheist his entire adult life, and he just said, I don't know what to do with that. By December, he was playing the shepherd in our church play. The following year, he was taking communion and singing on the praise team. I didn't do that. God did that. He fell more and more in love with Christ and was even studying to become a real minister, and I got to watch that. Jim and I went through too many incredible hardships before we met, and then more after we met. We went through them together, and I'm not going to go into detail, but let's just say anything you can imagine is probably close. We shared this, and yet we never allowed it to define us. We weren't just survivors who found each other. We were two broken souls who were mended together like kintsugi. Now, if you're not familiar with the term kintsugi, it's the traditional Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas that are broken with gold. The result is a piece that's more beautiful than it was before it was broken. The gold that mended our broken lives was our love and God. Jim knew my every flaw and my broken spot, and he turned it into gold. And he had a way of doing that with everyone he met. Every job he had, he made lifelong friends, even if he only worked with them for a few months. Every production he acted in, he created permanent ties. My sweet Jimmy was always the star, even if he wasn't the star of the show. And he did this through loving people just where they were. He played along, he checked in, he cared. He would spend hours making personalized happy birthday videos to post on his friends' timelines on Facebook. I do not have a single notebook or sticky pad that doesn't have a page somewhere that he's scribbled, "I love the Melanie Hope," for me to find later, and I'm still finding them. And that was his nickname for me. I never got Sweetie or Pookie or Angel Face. I was the Melanie Hope. The number one word that people use to describe Jim Monis is the word sweet. He was a sweet, sweet man. Jim loved to sing, to act, to take photos, to travel, to experience life from all angles. He knew everything there was to know about cartoons. Everything. And he watched them. I mean, right up until the day he died, he was watching cartoons. He absolutely adored his critters. As you can tell, they were usually his main subject. Each of our pets has their own little song and a special nickname. Each had a voice, too. I'm gonna really miss those voices. Jim loved people. He loved making them happy. And Jim loved me. And he told me every day, and I believe him. He was a happy man, vastly talented man, a widely appreciated and beloved man, and later in life, a godly man. I have been blessed to share these 15 short years of learning love and laughter with my sweet Jimmy. Most of all, I will forever be grateful that God allowed me to witness Jim's faith journey. I'm so grateful that I have positively zero doubt where he is now. He is whole and he's happy and he's in the light of the Lord. For some reason, our travels led us here, and hopefully soon I'll know why I'm left behind and what I'm supposed to do so that I can do it with integrity and love, and most of all, laughter, because he would have loved that. Well done, good and faithful servant. Welcome home, Semper Fi, and I look forward to the day that I join you.